Welcome to District 32, Immersion, inspiration for ambitious business owners with big dreams.
Hello, my name is Lorraine Garvey of District 32. I'm absolutely excited today to be interviewing Amel of Bluesky Digital Labs. How are you, Amel?
I'm good, Lorraine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Go on, Amel, give us your 30-second pitch there. What do you do in a nutshell?
We build custom software that you can't buy off the shelf, either to bring new ideas to life or to optimize existing software with the aim of automating or improving business processes.
Beautiful. Now, we've already spoken. This is part 3 of 3 short interviews and tips, and we've spoken about the viability of building products. We've spoken about how we have to remember we're building a business, not a product. We've spoken about how important it is to do your homework so that you don't end up paying 5-6 times the amount. But an idea that I love through speaking to you and hearing your introduction is how you help business owners and entrepreneurs bring ideas to life. Now, I would just absolutely love it if you would share one of your best stories around how you helped an entrepreneur to bring that idea to life. Do you have one? Do you have one on top of mind?
I certainly do.
So tell us about it, Amel.
Okay. So one of our favorite projects, and it's our favorite project because the entrepreneur, I suppose the person behind it is very emotionally invested into making his world a better place. And his world is the medical world. He is a surgeon, one of Australia's top surgeons in his industry. And his entire business has been based off of providing the best patient care that he possibly can. So when the software systems that he was using, when that massive company decided to withdraw support for Australia, he was left with either a choice of, I suppose, building his own product or compromising and settling for buying something off the shelf which was inferior to what he already had. Now, being focused on providing the best that he can for his patients, he effectively went to the market and looked at, is there anyone out in the market that can bring his in his own words, his blue sky vision to life? So obviously that resonated with us in our name because that's what we try to do. So through communicating with him and him explaining the vision that he had to build effectively a patient management platform to make the lives of his patients as exceptional as he possibly could without compromising, but also to make his business as smooth, as seamless, as efficient as it possibly can be. So he wanted to build a platform that had not yet been built in the world. And he had the desire and I suppose the motivation to go ahead with it. So he engaged us about 3.5-4 years ago with the aim of, there was quite a tight timeline in terms of we had to deliver version 1 within 8 months because that's when the Americans were withdrawing support.
Wow.
So
nothing like a bit of pressure?
Nothing like a bit of pressure to meet a timeline. And look, we met the timeline. It was very difficult, but within 8 months, we'd given him a system that was close to what he had with the American platform. And the American platform had 20 years of development behind it, obviously legacy development, but we got it done in 8 months that it was a usable product. Wasn't his, final product, but it was good enough that he started using it in his own practices. Then once he started using it within his own practices, it was a case of, well, how do we make it better, more efficient, and how do we get it to a point that we can commercialize it and actually sell it to other doctors? Because it's not just a case of building it for himself. It's if he can commercialize it, not only does he have something phenomenal for himself, but he's obviously got a different business that is very different to his medical practice.
Wow.
So for the last 2.5 years, we've been building and developing the product. And at the moment, we're in the process of integrating it with one of the largest, software and hardware developers in the medical industry from Germany, that once that integration is completed, the doctor can then go and actually sell that product through that provider to other doctors and turn that into a business of its own.
Wow. So there really is an idea to life, and so often our greatest misfortunes turn into our biggest opportunities. For So that's really it. That's a phenomenal business opportunity through having to build his own product, or through the desire to create something special in his own product. But that gets me thinking, Amel, how many times, because you've got so much experience with building solutions, how much of an impact do you have into business owners when they're bringing an idea to life? Like they might bring something this size, and then after, working with you, does that happen often, that you can just explode that idea and tell us what we don't know, or think about what we haven't thought of?
Well, it happens very often. One of the key values and key things that we try to add to any client and any project is that whenever a project comes to us, we've seen 1,000 other projects that may be different ideas, but there's always overlap in terms of the business, the requirements, the target market, that we try to add as much of our own knowledge from 20 years of development and working software. We try to add as much as we can in terms of asking questions and pushing the boundaries of what the idea is to begin with, that very rarely does the idea not change. Quite often it doubles, triples, quadruples in terms of just feedback and suggestions and what we can add that makes the end product better and the end business better.
And that's a lot of where the value comes from. I've worked with providers before, and you might be thinking of investing a serious amount of money, or it might be a serious amount of money for you at the time. And then just as soon as you engage someone, like yourself, and those ideas flow out, you think, oh my God, thank God I did this, because they've just made that investment through the conversation before we build anything. Look, I'm really... I've listened to a few of your stories and a few of the different ways that you've brought ideas to life. I highly recommend someone who does have an idea can reach out to you. Can they reach out to Bluesky Digital Labs and start a conversation? How would people start that conversation, Amel?
Oh, they can certainly reach out to me via email or phone through Bluesky Digital Labs. I said I personally like to establish as many relationships with my clients as possible, because we don't have many clients where quality over quantity. So they can always reach out to me direct via amel@blueskylabs.com.au. And, we're very informal in how we go about things. It's about, making sure that we can help, number one, and then if we can help, how we work together, efficiently for the long term.
Amel, thank you very much. It's been great to have you on. Again, Amel from Bluesky Digital Labs, bringing ideas to life. And what's the second part of that? When you're saying improving efficiencies, is that I didn't quite flow as well as you do. Amel, there.
Automate and optimize as much as we can.
There you go. Amel, thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you.
You've been listening to District 32, immersion, inspiration for ambitious business owners with big dreams.